What if the woods behind your house were hiding an entire civilization? One with kings, councils, and rules older than any human law? What if the only way to truly see that world wasn't by walking further into the trees, but by leaving your own body behind entirely and stepping into someone else's skin or fur? A quiet glade. A girl who refuses to let it disappear, no matter how many people tell her it already has. And a secret experiment buried inside a university lab that nobody outside a locked door was ever supposed to find. This is the story of a mind that learns to hop between worlds, beaver, bird, human, and the unlikely alliance that follows when those worlds finally collide. Stick around, because by the end, you won't just be rooting for the girl. You'll be rooting for the beavers, and maybe, just maybe, for the mayor too. We open on our lead as a stubborn 6-year-old, the kind of kid who simply cannot accept that a classroom pet belongs locked in a tiny plastic habitat instead of somewhere it can actually live. That conviction gets her suspended almost immediately. A small moment, but one that tells you everything about who she'll grow up to be. Sent to stay with her grandmother while her parents sort themselves out, she spends her days wandering a nearby forest glade, and something about it changes her permanently. The quiet industry of the wildlife, the sense that this small patch of earth is holding itself together without any human help at all. She falls hard for it, and her grandmother becomes the person who teaches her to actually see it. Years pass, her parents move away, her grandmother eventually passes, but the glade never lets go of her. Now 19 and in college, she's still showing up there constantly. That's exactly when the local mayor, sharp suit, easy smile, a man who has clearly never lost an argument in a room full of voters, announces his signature infrastructure project, a new stretch of highway cutting straight through her glade. His justification is simple and worse, sounds reasonable. The animals have already moved on, so what exactly is she trying to save? He's not a cartoon villain here. He's likable, competent at his job, and genuinely convinced he's doing right by his town, which makes him a frustratingly hard man to actually hate. Given a short window to prove the wildlife still has a foothold there, she throws herself into gathering support, and nearly every attempt backfires in increasingly funny and increasingly demoralizing ways, including one deeply awkward encounter where a signature she was counting on turns out to be nothing more than a stranger's grocery list. Running out of options and out of patience, she storms into her biology professor's lecture hall mid-class, insisting that the glade deserves protecting whether anyone believes her or not. That same night, she spots something impossible. A beaver out in the open that gets quietly loaded into an unmarked van. Her instincts kick in immediately. She follows the van across campus and ends up outside a hidden laboratory tucked away at the university, the last place she expected her search to lead. Inside, she discovers the truth. Her own professor has spent years secretly developing lifelike robotic animals, part of a covert program that allows a human consciousness to fully occupy an animal's body, experiencing the world exactly as that creature does. It's the kind of technology that could either save the glade or completely upend everything she thinks she understands about it. And before anyone can explain the rules to her, she makes the kind of impulsive decision she's known for and jumps straight in. The transformation isn't gentle. Mid-transfer, an owl swoops in, snatches her beaver body up, and drops her deep into the heart of the glade. She wakes up disoriented, four-legged, and completely stunned to realize she can suddenly understand every creature around her.
What's up? I'm here to find my bird.
I understand you. This is incredible.
As though a language barrier she never knew existed has simply vanished. Her first real interaction is with a slow, good-natured, none too bright beaver who quickly becomes an accidental companion. She saves him from what looks like certain disaster at the jaws of a lumbering bear, only to be informed, rather awkwardly, that this near miss was technically permitted under the community's own internal rules.
Why what? Why would I save his life?
Yeah.
Yeah, why would you do that?
Wait, what? She was gonna eat you!
Well, yeah, she caught me. It's pond rules.
It's a small moment, but it tells her everything. This world runs on logic she hasn't learned yet, and survival here means understanding the rules before she can ever hope to bend them. Word travels fast in the glade, and soon she's brought before the ruling figure of the local mammal community, a big-bodied, big-hearted beaver leader whose entire kingdom is built around a simple, almost philosophical code of coexistence rather than any real hierarchy. He's warm, a little anxious, endlessly optimistic, and instantly charmed by this strange newcomer who clearly doesn't know the customs yet, but seems to genuinely care about getting them right. Through him, she starts piecing together how this whole ecosystem actually functions. Who eats whom, who protects whom, and why none of it looks the way she expected from the outside. But something still doesn't add up. Digging deeper, she uncovers the real reason the wildlife supposedly abandoned the Glade in the first place.
Oh, you hear that?
No?
I can't really hear you. Anyway, you can see why everyone laughed.
It wasn't natural at all.
Because of a noise that only animals can hear.
Tell me where it's loudest.
The mayor secretly planted devices disguised as ordinary trees, quietly emitting a frequency that only animals can hear, deliberately driving every creature out to clear a path for his project. Furious, she sets out to destroy the device herself, racing against one of the lab's own scientists, now hopped into a robotic bird to keep tabs on her from above, who tries to intervene, worried she's interfering with forces she doesn't fully understand. The device comes down, and the animals come flooding back into the Glade almost immediately. A triumphant moment for her, and an absolute disaster for the mayor's timeline. But success here comes with unintended consequences.
It was intense. So yeah, I think there's more loud trees now.
George, the council!
Oh, right. Someone call the council, please.
Word of the deception spreads through the wider animal kingdom, and a grand council convenes, drawing together leaders from every corner of the ecosystem. Birds, fish, reptiles, insects, amphibians, all sitting shoulder to shoulder with the mammals for the first time in ages. What starts as cautious curiosity about the humans responsible curdles quickly into something angrier and far less patient. One particularly ambitious young insect heir seizes the moment, pushing the council toward retaliation against the humans behind it all, starting with the mayor himself. Before anyone can talk the council down, both she and the mayor are seized and brought before the assembly as prisoners. That's when the full scope of the plan comes into focus. That same ambitious insect heir intends to repurpose the very devices once used to silently drive animals out, reprogramming them to instead unleash their frequency on the unsuspecting human crowd gathering for an upcoming public rally. It's a devastating twist. The technology built out of cruelty toward wildlife is about to be turned back on the people responsible, and she's forced to reckon with the uncomfortable truth that her own actions helped set this entire chain of events into motion. With time running out, she and the mayor are forced into an uneasy, reluctant partnership, racing to reach the rally before the plan can be carried out. It's tense, physical, and messy. Trust doesn't come easily between them, but survival leaves little room for grudges. They manage to stop the worst of it just in time, but the danger doesn't end there. A fire ignites and begins tearing rapidly across the Glade, threatening to undo everything either side has fought for. With her communication link to her animal allies suddenly severed, it's the Beaver King who steps up in the film's biggest moment of leadership, rallying his entire community to tear down the dam themselves and flood the flames before the fire can consume the Glade completely. In the aftermath, something genuinely shifts in the mayor. The highway gets rerouted, the Glade is officially protected, and, more importantly than any policy change, two sides that spent the entire film talking past each other finally managed to actually listen.
So, what are you gonna do about the Beltway?
Well, you're here. I'm here. Let's figure this out together.
Her stubborn, often reckless belief that the wild deserved a voice at the table turns out to have been right all along, even if the path to proving it was far messier than she ever imagined. From a suspended 6-year-old with a grudge against tiny cages, to a beaver-bodied revolutionary negotiating with kings, queens, and an ambitious insect heir, this is ultimately a story about how empathy doesn't require a shared language, just the willingness to see the world through someone else's eyes, paws, or wings. If this breakdown helped you connect the dots, drop a comment letting me know which Animal Council member you'd want leading your own neighborhood. Hit subscribe for more animated deep dives, and I'll catch you in the next one.